Persuasive speech for my speech class at Keiser University Online. I have created this speech as a persuasive speech to persuade pet owners to spay and neuter their family cats and dogs, the importance of that, and what they can do to help the cause. Okay, Neuter Your Pooch by Rayde Nipp. Do you have a Fluffy or a Fido at home that is your man's best friend that you could not imagine living your day-to-day life without? Well, imagine for a second, if you will, what your Fluffy or Fido thinks of you. They could not imagine their day-to-day life without you either. Then I think it is important for you to understand the importance of having that friend of yours neutered. If you want the best possible life for your pet, you should care about all pets and their well-being. I have my own funny farm of cats, dogs, horses, and I have done the research and seen the after effects of irresponsible pet owners. From working in an animal shelter and saving pets from irresponsible breeders, I have seen firsthand the consequences of not spaying and neutering your animals. There are millions of pets, both cats and dogs in the world, that go without loving homes because of overpopulation and careless pet ownership. You as a pet owner may not know this, but being a responsible pet parent, one Fluffy at a time, we can correct the problem and prevent it from getting worse. There is an overpopulation at shelters of feral and stray animals that have just been running the streets. Approximately 7.6 million companion animals enter animal shelters annually. This came from the ASPC website in the Pet Statistics article. There was not an author listed, but that was posted in 2016. It also stated there are approximately 70 million cats running around the streets of America without any homes. This is what they consider as feral cats. They are not people-friendly, and they run wild and find food and live independently. It is estimated that 37 to 47% of American households have some sort of pet, cats or dogs, yet only 10% have those pets fixed. Of those, there are approximately 1 to 2 litters with 4 to 6 babies born a year. Some are unplanned and others are used as a source of income for the pet owner. This was also off the ASPCA website. No matter the reasoning, these litters will then need to be placed in homes. And unfortunately, a lot of the time, those homes are not good or responsible homes. The solution to the problem is to take your pet, a cat or a dog, to the local vet and have it sterilized or fixed. There are 13,600 animal clinics all over the country that perform animal castrations or sterilizations, and they are more than willing to schedule a time to have your pet brought in and spayed or neutered, also from the ASPCA website. You must first make the decision to load up your animal in a little pet carrier or have them attached to a leash and take them to your local clinic to be sedated and fixed. This is also a good time to get their vaccinations and health checkups done. What better way to not only be responsible in the sense that you are not reproducing, but to also make sure that your pet is healthy. The reason for this is because it is hard enough to be responsible for the cost and care of one pet, not to mention what it would cost to have to vet and feed 3 to 7 more mouths if your female dog was to get pregnant. According to the Canine Journal article, Benefits of Spaying and Neutering Your Pet, by A. Brannon in 2016, for every cat that goes unsterilized, it could save about 400,000 cats in 7 years from being born. And for every unsterilized dog, it could prevent about 67,000 dogs in 6 years from ever having to be put into animal shelters. I know everyone thinks having tiny puppies running around your house might sound like a good time, but until you know what that entails, you are just visualizing a fantasy. Picture this for me, the outcome of having a sterile pet. Imagine driving down a country road or past a big city alleyway and not seeing cats and dogs running around scavenging for food. Or if you've ever volunteered in an animal shelter and you didn't have to see it full of sad, lonely eyes begging to be loved. You will only be spending money as a pet owner on spoiling that one pet that you have, and not, as Dr. Ross Pinkelman, the vet in town that I had an interview with, stated, you're not putting forth money for vet bills to deliver puppies, vaccinate them, feed them, the struggle to advertise them, and rehome them where they will be loved and cared for. There are only so many homes that want or can have pets, and for every puppy or kitten that is born is one less opportunity for a shelter animal. Until you have to feed them, clean up after them, vaccinate them, find places for them to sleep, you may not understand the work of raising puppies or kittens, or even what the shelter has to endure to house them once they do not have a home anymore. Sadly, some will never know what a real home is because of old age, illness, or euthanization, which happens to about 2.7 million animals yearly. This information came from the ASPCA website. This is all because of overpopulation. It is up to us, as citizens that own pets, to be responsible enough to care about their well-being and not our own selfish wants or needs. There are so many ways that you can get involved and help fix the problem. To find a low-cost spay and neuter clinic for your pet in your area, you can go to aspca.org/petcare/generalpetcare/low-cost spay neuter programs. If you do not have a pet and find it in your heart to take one in, there are plenty that need adopted from shelters and are already fixed and vaccinated. To find a pet at a shelter near you, you can go to www.petfinder.com. If you do not own a pet but care about the cause, you can donate to your local shelter. They take supplies like food and blankets, toys, and money donations, which can be made to shelters to provide spay and neuter services for other pets in your community. This information can also be found on petfinder.com. Another option is live traps for feral cats and especially for dogs and especially cats without harming them. You can catch them in live traps, take them to your local clinic, which sometimes provides services that are either free or low cost to have these animals vaccinated and fixed, and then they can be released back out into the public if they have nowhere else to go. This information was provided by Dr. Ross Pinkelman from my local vet clinic here in town. You can also find information on live traps at feralcat.com, how to use one, and so forth. I believe that every home should have some sort of pet, as I have many myself, because of all the ways that they improve our lives. But to own a pet means taking responsibility for a life besides our own. There is a big problem of overpopulation in our country, where there are more pets than there are loving homes for them. This possesses a problem because they have no one to take care of them, and pets that keep breeding just add to it. If you breed pets in your home for profit and they are not purebred, breeding quality animals, and do not know all the aspects it takes to raise these animals and find them appropriate forever homes, then you could also be adding to the problem. As we are the providers for our pets, we have the power to make sure that no animal spends their life being lonely and unwanted, let alone millions of them. So many animals are going their entire lives not knowing a warm bed or a loving family to care for them. This is a preventable problem if people take responsibility. There are resources out there to help you do your part and fix your dogs and cats. Now that you have the knowledge about the problem, how to prevent it, and the help to get done, all that it takes from you now is action. I believe the first step is spaying and neutering your house pets. We are the providers for our pets and have the power to make this happen. It is time to act on that power and prevent the unneeded reproduction. Okay, I have a couple visual aids here for you. Just want to show you kind of some things that helped me understand the situation. I have this cat here. This is Fifi. She was at an animal shelter, and the picture on the, let's see, my right, your left. This is what she looked like in the shelter. She was very sad. This is what happened after she was adopted and taken home. Here I have Chance. This is what Chance looked like as a puppy. He was a stray that was sent to a shelter, and he ended up coming out looking like this with a home of his own. One more. This is Roscoe. Roscoe was in a shelter, very, very sad. This gentleman here, Clint, he adopted Roscoe, took him home, and this is what Roscoe now looks like. He's a happy, healthy dog with a home of his own. if it was not for the fact, because of the fact that people are doing their part and keeping their animals spayed and neutered, homes like Clint's are able to provide homes for these shelter animals so they can go from this to this. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.